actually the sense of time is what attracted to me. One of the big things in the treatment that Marvel Studios created, because only when you take a step back from the immediate moment and look at the grand scheme of things, and in our film, it's not just now, 7,000 years ago, but billions of years ago, when the first sun was created. You look at that bigger picture, then you can tell a story of a single person on Earth in today's world in relationship to when the first sun is created. I think it's a very healthy thing to do for human beings to get that perspective.
I think shooting in any beautiful spaces is always the gift of this earth. When you cannot get there, then you have the gift of technology, which is something that we have been able to use throughout. But at Marvel Studios, we always say, if you can shoot it, shoot it. And if you cannot shoot it, send someone to at least shoot a picture of it, so then we can recreate it in CGI. But we always want to make sure that we shoot it live. And Chloé had a grand vision for being able to do that. And we were able to get some beautiful stuff on the Canary Islands. To me, that's one of my favorite shots, which the cast talked about yesterday. What they didn't say is that it was like 40-mile-an-hour wind, and there was all kinds of sand in their eyes, and they couldn't see really what they were doing.
Yeah.
But that's sort of part of what happens when you shoot in a live location, right? You cannot control wind, you cannot control rain, you cannot control anything. You're just at the mercy of the environment, but we love it.
Also, it's important to remember CGI and shooting a location are not at odds. That's very important. I think there's a stigma attached to it. Great CGI can only be enhanced by shooting location. You know, like our great visual effects Steph's already has said, let your character interact with the real environment as much as possible. That's only going to help the CGI. You know, he's like that. He wants things to be as real as possible. So it's not one or the other. They work together. I think the characters in the MCU all have problems.
All our superheroes have problems.
Messy. Yeah, that's why I think the fans love it, because they're relatable. You know, in this case, more importantly, they have to have problems because they live forever. That's one biggest problem for humans they've solved. So they got to have a lot of other. We got to push them through the ringers. So Jack Kirby, again, I think when he created them, it was always intentional to have the Eternals exist outside the mainstream narrative, just the popular characters at the time. I think he did that for a reason, so you can step back and look at the bigger picture. And that's kind of what we did. We were able to step back after the Infinity Saga and have the freedom to go. We don't have to attach, you know, like, let's look at the bigger picture. I mean, the movies only touch the tip of the iceberg of Marvel Comics, you know, so, yeah.
I think it's great to have a new franchise to begin under Chloé's helm. I think it's starting fresh after we finish with Infinity War and Endgame. How do you start again? So for us, this year has been about Black Widow, honoring her, and that's our saying goodbye to our friend Shang-Chi as our love letter to the Asian community, and then Eternals.
Love letter to the planet.
Love letter to the planet.